We're back with another Villarreal episode, but it's going to start off on a bit of a sour note. I absolutely hate release clauses, and we've just lost our best player to one. He's left the club, and we are stuck in a pretty sticky situation now. Welcome back to the Villarreal series, everybody. I'm Jake, and I know it's been quite a while since the last episode, and we've got so many updates, but as you heard in the intro, we lost a major player, if not our best player by far, to a release clause. It was very annoying the way it happened. I'll tell you the story soon. We've also got two games, one against Barcelona and then a Champions League knockout game as well. We've also brought in some players to the squad, some pretty good ones too, because of that huge sale that we did have. But before we get into it all, if you could like the video, subscribe, that would be awesome. Getting very close to 9k now, so any support towards that goal would be great. Don't forget to check out my second channel in the description. Join the Discord as well if you want to. And also drop a comment down below about our transfer window. Do you think we've been absolutely shafted? Because I think we definitely have. Yeah, I guess that's the first place to start. We'll start with our form since you last saw us, which it's been so long since I last recorded. I don't even know when it was, but we're doing very well overall. We're top of the La Liga by quite a distance. Barcelona, our closest challengers, who we are playing today, and then we have a Champions League match too. We're already winning after the first leg, but if we win this, we'll be in the quarterfinal, which will be great. But overall, everything going very well. We're 3-1 up against Leipzig from the first leg in the Champions League, so it should be a pretty comfortable win today. But maybe it won't be, because our team has very much changed, and let's start off with the big deal, the thing you're all here to know about. Giori Fine, my man, the guy that I was training to be club captain at some point from the Villarreal Academy. Man City made plenty of bids of about 80, 90 million. I was just reject. I said to Giori Fine, you can leave for your release clause, obviously, but other than that, I'm not accepting it. And he was happy. He was fine at the club. But Man City just didn't stop, and it was actually on one of the last days of the transfer window that he left the club, and it was very heartbreaking. We didn't have much time to find suitable replacements. I couldn't really replace him either. He is just so talented, and you can see there, maybe it's better that he goes to Man City because he's playing so well. 5 games, 4 goals and 2 assists. He's going to be a superstar. He already was with us, but he is going to go very far. Giori Fine, though, it's a sad day. He leaves the club. Maybe one day we can bring him back. But yeah, we had a lot of money from that, obviously. 144 million. We already had like 50, 60 million pounds in the transfer budget anyway. The board gave us a boost, and I just could not find the players to sign for the team. I obviously could go out there and spend 200 million pounds on a player, but in January, the market was massively inflated. There was no one who I felt was a good deal. And I also don't want to stutter the growth of some of the other players we've got at the club, purely because we have a lot of money to spend. And I think we've done a pretty decent job of replacing Pino. But you could never really replace this guy, and I still think our team has been significantly weakened from his sale, at least in the attacking areas, because I think outside of that, we've not done a bad job. Other key players leaving include Sergio Ramos, who wasn't playing too much, was kicking up a fuss. We actually took a hit on him from when we signed him, but even though he's good, he's quite old and he was never going to be a regular starter, and he was causing a lot of issues with the team dynamics because of his influence on the squad, so we did let him leave the club. And then Dani Parejo, the man who I've been training to be my future assistant manager. I wanted him to stay, but he decided he wanted to go to Shakhtar. They decided an approach to sign deal, and he wasn't really being used this season, and I thought, you know what, if he's going, let's just let him go now. He can play in Shakhtar, and I'll still bring him back one day. We've been giving him coaching courses for years, but he's decided to leave the club. An absolute traitor. But obviously that did leave us with some money to sign some players, and I think we've made a lot of good deals, actually. The first one being this regen player, new gen should I say, Njeko Nad from a club that I've never heard of, to be honest, Kukarachi, out in the Serbian Super League, and what a player he is, a striker with a lot of potential. He looks like he's got everything he needs and 20 determination too. The scouts are raving about him at £1.9 million. It's a bargain. He's been playing well for his club, and I let him go out there for another year yet to keep developing. But next season, he will be in and around that first team. Just for depth reasons, I brought this guy in on loan. I don't expect him to play too much, and they're already upset about his playing time, but he's came in from Chelsea. Edis Milikovic, again, you're never going to see him, don't worry about him, but should everybody get injured, this guy we can call upon both as a striker and a wide player. We also used some of the Pino money to boost our midfield ranks. With Parejo going, I wanted a option that was young but also could come on and be a very good player, and I think I found that in Yasin Aksoy, a Dutch under-21 international, very well-rounded physically, good with both feet, good player traits, mentally very strong, and he's very good in the technical areas too. We picked him up for 20 £4.5 million. He's played 6 times, scored 2 and assisted 1, and is looking like a very good player. And then we needed a winger. There wasn't many good options, but there was someone with a release clause who I've always kept my eye on, and it was Samuel Chukwueze. We did have him at the start of his save when he wasn't that great. We sold him on, and he's since gone on to be one of the best wingers in the world. And then since joining us, hasn't looked too great since then, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. You can see how good he's been in the Bundesliga, particularly in the last couple of seasons. We sold him for 20, we signed him for 71. Let's call it £50 million for this guy overall. And when you think we got 140 million for Jeremy Pino, it's not terrible business, but he's certainly not the player Pino is, and we had to give him a huge wage to get him into the club. The problem is, in January, no one wants to sell, and that means every time you want to sign a player, they'll have a value of, say, 20 million. You ask the agent, and they say, because the club's not willing to sell, you'll have to pay £90 million for a very average player. And it was a very tough transfer window for us. We've got a lot of money left over. We decided not to spend it. And since then, we've been winning a lot of games, but we've got 2 games to play today. One against Barcelona, one in the Champions League. If we win this Barcelona game, I'd like to say the league might even be wrapped up already. Let's not get ahead of ourselves though, we've still got to win. My side for the match is going to look like this: Kepa in goal, Koundé, Ignacio and Torres at the back, with Lamptey, Santos, Bellingham, Fernandes, Chukwueze, Danjuma and Giori. And speaking of these wide positions, Danjuma, Chukwueze, we still have got 2 good options in each area. On the right hand side, Chukwueze has got Angelo as his replacement player basically, both of them equally as good as each other, and both can play on that right hand side. And on the left we've got Danjuma and Amin Giori, who can fill in that role, and of course the youngster that we bought in from Chelsea. So realistically, with Pino going, it did allow us to balance those wide players a little bit better, but we don't have that star quality player that we had, unless Chukwueze can really step up for us. But we'll see. Let's get into this game, hopefully get a win. I haven't played this save for a long while. I've had a lot going on. I've done the Manchester United rebuild, and hopefully I'll have a pretty cool announcement to give you guys fairly soon about the channel. It's been a long time in the making, and if it all goes ahead, I think it'll be pretty good, and the channel's going to hopefully take off a lot more. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Thank you to everyone who's stuck around throughout this series. It's not getting as many views now, which I understand because it's been going on for months, and I'm not very consistent uploading, let's put it that way. But to anyone who is still here and enjoying the save, thank you very much. Hopefully you continue to enjoy the episodes, and who knows, could be on for another 3 or 4 seasons yet. We might win the Champions League this year. We'll see. That all depends on how the matches go today. But the league is almost a foregone conclusion at this point. There's only, 11 or so matches left. We're 11 points clear. If we win today, it's going to be massive for us. And I do expect the league title to be won quite comfortably. All our other competitions are still going, I believe. I don't think we're knocked out of the Copa del Rey, and we are still in the Spanish Super Cup. Could be wrong though about those 2, but I feel like we're still in both. Pedri with a long shot, chips Kepa, but it goes over the bar. 30 minutes in. Hopefully this will cheer me up, because I've just watched Chelsea get beat 2-1 by Southampton, and we did not play very well at all. I'm a Chelsea fan. Quite disappointing actually, but we need a player. And look at him, Alejandro Francis, what a guy. I remember him when we had him at the club. It was a shame he left. That was also a release clause issue, and one of the hardest parts of managing in Spain, particularly with a team like Villarreal, where our reputation hasn't reached 5 stars yet. The club players are still very happy to leave for their release clause if a bigger club comes in, like City, like United, like Real Madrid, like Barcelona, even though realistically we're probably a better team than them all. I've talked over here, but Barcelona have gone and scored. It was offside. Christian Pulisic of all players, very good finish, but quite clearly off. I was pretty confident he would be offside. But Francis is playing left back for Barcelona. He is actually unhappy at the club and wanted to leave, and we did try and re-sign him in the transfer window, but Barca were not willing to let him go. He's become a superstar since playing for Barca, classed as an elite centre-back. We made him a centre-back, man. He was a right-back when he signed for us. We made him a top-tier centre-back, and hopefully we can bring him and Pino back one day to finish off his team. But I mean, our back 3 is still very good. Koundé, Ignacio, Pau Torres, of course, Zagadou as a backup option. We bought Gustavo back off loan with Sergio Ramos leaving, and there's another player in there who I'm forgetting as well. Kalulu, he can play right wing back and centre back. But so far, a pretty boring first half. We haven't had many chances, but maybe we'll get one here with Bruno Fernandes going forward to Jules Koundé, who's been a great player since signing, if not one of our best. Now Danjuma, can we create the opening? Oh, we are missing Benjamin Sesko today, you might have noticed, as a striking option. So Giori is playing up front. I'm not doing the best job of it. But there's Memphis Depay. Hit the post, rolls across the line, and we get very lucky there. I'm not too invested in this game because I do think we're going to win the league either way. But I do want to win it. I definitely do. So might be time for some changes when we get to the 60th minute because we're not playing too well at all. I'll demand a little bit more, see if we can get anything out of the boys. But overall, a very poor performance. Our dynamics did take a bit of a hit with Parejo going, with Ramos going, who was also causing problems before he went, and Pino as well. A lot of players weren't happy about it, not happy about the depth we have at the club. But I've done my best in a very difficult situation, I feel. Bellingham's tired, so he can come off for new signing Yacine Aksoy. Xavi Simons nearly left for £10 million to Club Brugge in a transfer window. Actually had the deal sorted, and I decided to basically reject it. I didn't want it to happen. I think this guy might actually have a potential at the club, particularly with Danny Parejo leaving. So we decided to keep him. But Yacine Aksoy is on the pitch now. I think I'll bring on George Galen, put Amine Giori there. And again, poor performances from those forward players. And I don't think I'll change him just yet, but I do want to bring off Douglas Santos, put Lamptey there, and then bring on Rosas to give us a bit more on that right-hand side. And maybe this will make the difference. Maybe it will do nothing, but who knows? George Galen, still very young, still, for his attributes, not scoring anywhere near as many goals as he should, but he is still 18, 19, so I'm not going to put too much pressure on him just yet. But I do see him as a very good option up front as the years go by. It's saying disallowed goal here in the 71st minute. I did not get to see that. It was Christian Pulisic again who scored, 2 disallowed goals for him, and then we're somehow back to the 71st minute again. Are we seeing into the future? Is this one of those weird Football Manager highlights where you see into the future? It's happened to me a few times on video. We will see what happens here though. Maybe this is just a pointless highlight. I'll let you know. It was a pointless highlight. It was one of them where we looked into the future. The game went on for another 2 minutes and then Pulisic scored the offside goal that we've already seen is offside. So yeah, it's not counting. It is disallowed. We already knew that. The game gave us an insight, and it's still 0-0, 72 minutes in, and we have not looked like scoring. The odd corner chance we've played it in to Pau Torres' head, but other than that, not really been good enough. We look tired, we look leggy, and if Barcelona win here, they've definitely deserved it. I wouldn't want to lose, but you know, it wouldn't surprise me too much if we did. Here's Pulisic again, causing us a lot of problems today. Lamptey's pace can hopefully counter that out though, but Gundogan goes forward to Rodriguez, Griezmann. Ferran Torres is in. This will be the goal. Oh no, he's hit the post as well. We are getting very lucky today, and a point will be greatly appreciated after this performance because we have been shocking. Hope we can step this up against Leipzig. I really don't want them to come back. And there we go. Barca get the goal from the corner. Guido Rodriguez, whoever he is, heads it in from close range. It's fully deserved for Barca, to be honest. We have been trash. Like I say, it's been a long time since I've played this save, but I don't feel like we were playing this badly before. And some of our players are playing okay, but overall, those forward areas we have really lacked in today. 2 very poor average match ratings on the wing, Giori having a shocker, and Sesko can't come back soon enough. I'm actually going to fine Giori for such a bad performance, but let me just check. Have we been rubbish recently? No, we've been pretty good. We have been very good, actually. But let's find our man Giori. Let's give him a bit of a telling off. Not just a bit of a telling off. Here we go. We're going to fine him for a poor performance, half a week's wages. You can just deal with it. I am the boss around here, Amine Giori. You will accept it, whatever I give you. And there you go. He's accepted his fine. We keep half of his wages in the bank. We'll take that. But let's get to the Leipzig game now and pick our team, which will hopefully do a little bit better. Okay, we're getting close to game day, and Monaco have knocked out Barcelona. Arsenal have knocked out Inter Milan. And there is something quickly I do want to cover about Dan Axel Zagadou, who I've always assumed was a backup player for us. But recently, he's been playing out of his skin. He's never really put a foot wrong for us. And arguably might be a better option for our, ideal first 11 for the big games nowadays over Ignacio. I could be wrong. I just feel like Zagadou's actually got a lot in his locker. And if we look at his past performances for us, never done anything to make him an issue at the club. I mean, £6 million for the amount of games and quality games that he's played for us. Not that Ignacio's ever done anything wrong, but Zagadou is certainly a very good option for these games. And that is a brilliant backline, I think. Douglas Santoso has been poor this year. And it does make me think maybe I put Lamptey there, give Kalulu the chance at right wing back. Bellingham and Fernandez is fine. Chukwueze and Giori, I can't start him after that last performance. But then Danjuma didn't play much better either. But I've got to give Giori a rest after that because that was awful from him. And you know what? Chukwueze didn't do too well either. Angelo can come in. I think he'll probably do a better job anyway. This is going to be our side to get us over the line against Leipzig. We're winning 3-1. Very glad to have Benjamin Sesko back. If I remember right, and it was a while ago, Leipzig actually had a pretty nice team. We'll have a look at it when the game starts, so they're not to be taken lightly. They're still a very good side. Bruno Fernandes, by the way, second best player in the world now, only behind Erling Haaland, so he's pushing for that Ballon d'Or. There you go, Maxi Gomez, Dia, who was from us, and Kunku, Olmo, Lima, Emerson Royale's joined them. I believe they've still got Mukiele, amongst many other very good talent. But we've definitely got the better side and we should be able to get over the line. The first leg we were much better and we've nearly conceded straight away. I'm going to keep my mouth shut here. I don't want to praise us too much because we'll end up losing both games on video here. But 3-1 up, you'd think we would be fine. They're matching us up in terms of the system as well. So I'd like to think we'd be able to beat them because, you know, this is our system. We are the main team for this kind of stuff. And we go close again with another Pau Torres header from a corner. We just need to finish off one of these chances and the confidence will begin to flow. I mean, in terms of our starting 11 now, our centre-backs are very good. Our wing-backs are great. Our two central midfielders are probably the best central midfield pairing in the world now. Bellingham and Bruno Fernandes. And then going forward, we've got some good options too. Sesko is brilliant on his day as well, so hopefully we can get the ball into him a few times. It is Leipzig, seemingly dominating so far, but maybe we can create a chance here with Sesko holding the ball up. Does well to play it back to Koundé, to Angelo. Can we find the space? Kalulu's going to look for it on the right wing. He just needs to float the ball in. He does. Danjuma's going to go for it. He doesn't though. Bellingham, Bruno Fernandes, back to Kalulu. Benjamin Sesko with a header and it hits the crossbar and goes over. Never really looked like going in. I think the keeper had that. But it's better. It was some nice football at least. Just need some better end product. I'd like one goal in today's video, to be honest. Maybe this will be it. Here we go. We've got the ball at the back with Koundé and we'll try and build it up the best we can. I mean, in terms of ball playing defenders, the three we've got are actually very good at it. Koundé's excellent. Zagadou also excellent. And Pau Torres does a good job in that wide centre-back role. Maybe not the world's most ideal ball player, Pau Torres, but he's never really put a foot wrong. He's been brilliant every single game we've ever had him, so I'm not going to complain about that. But this looks like it could be promising. There's space opening up. Here's Danjuma. He's fouled. Was Danjuma offside? I don't think he was, but that should be a red card in my opinion. He's pulled him down, one-on-one. At least book him, ref. At least book him. Come on, there's no point in reviewing this. This is definitely a penalty. And it is a penalty. Is he getting the card out? He's not. It's just going to be Bruno Fernandes from the spot. Never misses Bruno. Come on, give us one goal on video at least. Bruno Fernandes for the Ballon d'Or, and he blasts it into the top right corner. We're 1-0 up. He grabs his shirt, tugs on the badge a little bit, and it looks like Villarreal will be going through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League and hopefully a little bit further this year. I've got a final in my mind. I want to get to the final. But what a penalty that was from Bruno, never missing. And we should be pretty comfortable from here on out. Although, crossbar from Leipzig, they're getting close, but we'll hold on. We'll hold on. It was just a set piece. Let's not think too much of it. It's getting to half time. We've been the better team XG-wise, possession-wise, so pretty happy with this as a first half. Lamptey not having his best of games, nor is Kalulu. Maybe it's time to get them off, but let's just give them a bit of praise. We'll wait till the 60th and then we'll make some changes, I think. I do need to check what other teams are in the competition still to see who we might be coming up against, but I'd fancy us against anyone in world football across two legs, really, when our ideal team is available. Just depends who's injured and suspended by the time we get there, but we could go 2-0 up here because that's a great ball from Bellingham to Lamptey, who's got the pace if he wants to use it. He goes back to Bruno, though. Bruno back to Pau Torres, and we're going to start again. What a ball that is from Torres, though. Criticise his ball-playing ability, but what a ball that is. Fernandes in, Bellingham, and he heads it home. A brilliant connection between the two central midfielders. Actually thought Bellingham had headed it over. He's cushioned it in for his 15th of the season, I think that said. Very impressive from the central midfielder. He is definitely one of the better players at the club now. When we signed him, he was meant to be the best player at the club. He just weren't playing like it, but now he's settled in. Great header from him. Great link-up play between the two midfielders. And that is 2-0, both of our centre-mids scoring, and we are happy right now. If we can pile it on, though, score a third, that would be very good. Here's Bellingham. Some very good play, and Nkunku is getting sent off for a foul on Pierre Kalulu. Yeah, it wasn't the best from him there. Not really necessary, but off goes Nkunku. We'll take it. 2-0 up. And maybe we can add a third now with a player off the pitch. Let's see. Here's Danjuma, who, despite us playing very well, we haven't seen too much. And it's Angelo in the box with a great volley. Angelo scores. Supposedly he's been red carded, which he hasn't. The game's just showing us that. And that might have been another assist from Bruno Fernandes. If it was, that was excellent. Let's have a look. It's below my camera. Danjuma to Bruno, and what a cross that is. Pinpoint accurate. Great finish from Angelo as well. Acrobatic on the volley. Scores 3-0 up, and this is a perfect performance now. More goals would be even better, but I'm pretty happy with this, and we can start to rest some people as the game goes on. Let's see, though, how the game ends up, because Maxi Gomez is through. Maxi Gomez rounds Kepa very easily. Pretty much from centre, but you know what? We'll ignore it. 3-1. 6-2 on aggregate. I'm still very happy with the performance, don't get me wrong. That was a bit of a blip out of nothing, but we will make some changes now just to rest some players up. Bellingham for Yassin Aksoy. Danjuma can come off and Chukwueze can come on his less than ideal side, and we'll bring on Alejandro Balde. Why not? Let's give him a chance in this game. And hopefully we'll just keep adding goals. It should be quite comfortable against a 10-man side, but who knows. We do have a corner on the 70th. It's Bruno in for another assist maybe. No, it's been headed away to Yassin Aksoy, who has got a shot on him, by the way. He's got a bit of a power strike from what I've seen so far in a few of the games that I've seen him play. But here's Bruno. There is space on that left wing if we can get it to Balde, but he's going to go back to Pau Torres. We'll work it, and I'm pretty confident this will be a goal, actually. Here's Sesko. We haven't seen too much. Asoy plays through Angelo. A great touch, a great finish, great assist from a youngster as well. A very incisive pass. And Sesko must be playing well because we haven't seen too much of him. But he is on a 7 rating, and you can see he is doing that role of holding the ball up very nicely. Does it here. Great pass through, great run from Angelo, and that is 4-1 and 2 goals for our young Brazilian right winger. Now, when I did go to sign Chukwueze, I was very aware of the talent of Angelo and that we probably didn't need a top quality player, but I'm trying to do a Manchester City and have 2 very good players in each position. And I think Angelo and Chukwueze is the kind of depth that we do want. It's just a shame that we sold Chukwueze for 20 million just to buy him back a few years later, but a great performance from us, an aggregate victory of the highest quality. Leipzig are out and they are not a shabby side at all, currently second in the Bundesliga, a while away from Bayern, but the best team outside of those two. So I'm very happy with that performance. Fernandes was brilliant, 2 assists, 1 goal from the Portuguese midfielder. Pau Torres apparently has been fine, but let's have a look who is left in the Champions League if we have a look at the quarterfinals. Chelsea are through, Arsenal are through, Liverpool look to be through already, as do Bayern, and Barca and Leipzig are out. It looks like PSG could be going out as well. So a lot of big teams are leaving. There is no Real Madrid left either. PSG could be out. It's really just Man City to me. Maybe Bayern Munich, maybe Chelsea as well, that I would be worried about. Liverpool too, actually. But all the others we can certainly take on. So we'll see who we get in the draw, and we'll catch up next time to see where we're at. But thank you for your support on the channel. Thanks for the support on the series. Have a great day, everyone. Don't forget to like the video, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.